Listen, life's going to throw punches. It's not if, it's when. Your plans, they'll get disrupted. Your expectations, they'll get shattered. People will disappoint you, markets will crash, projects will fail. That's reality. But here's the thing, your real power, your real edge, it's not how perfectly you set up your life. It's how you control what happens up here when everything out there falls apart. Emotional control is your greatest advantage under pressure because in the moments where everything feels like it's falling apart, your ability to master your emotions determines how effectively you can respond. Most people think success is about having all the resources, the perfect timing, or the right connections, but the truth is, none of that matters if you lose control of your mind when life gets hard. Pressure is inevitable. It shows up in business when deals fall apart, in relationships when people disappoint you, and in life when your expectations collide with reality. If you react emotionally, you lose your ability to think clearly. You make decisions based on fear, frustration, or anger, and those decisions rarely serve you well. The people who win under pressure are the ones who can stay composed, who can breathe, slow down their mind, and choose their response instead of reacting impulsively. Emotional control gives you space to process, to analyze, and to lead. It's easy to act strong when things are going your way, but the real test of character is how you handle the moments when nothing is going according to plan. That's where emotional control separates the average from the elite. The ones who train their minds to stay calm under pressure don't just survive those moments, they use them to grow, to learn, and to strengthen their resolve. Emotional control means you don't let outside circumstances dictate your inner world. You stop allowing other people's opinions, market conditions, or temporary setbacks to pull you off track. You keep your head clear, your emotions steady, and your perspective sharp. In that state, you make better decisions. You become a stabilizing force for your team, your family, and yourself. People gravitate toward those who can keep their emotions in check because in chaos, everyone's looking for certainty. You become that certainty when you've mastered emotional control. But it doesn't happen overnight. It happens through consistent practice. It happens when you lean into uncomfortable situations instead of avoiding them. It happens when you discipline your mind daily. Emotional control isn't about being numb or suppressing feelings. It's about recognizing your emotions, understanding them, but not letting them run your life. Your focus determines your level of calm and chaos because where your attention goes, your energy follows. When life throws unexpected challenges at you, your ability to stay calm depends entirely on what you choose to focus on in that moment. Most people, when faced with stress, uncertainty, or failure, instinctively zero in on what's wrong. They obsess over the problem. They magnify the worst case scenario. They mentally replay everything that could go wrong. And as a result, their anxiety skyrockets, their decisions get sloppy, and their confidence disappears. But high performers, the ones who train their minds for these moments, know that focus is a tool they can control. They consciously choose to direct their attention towards solutions, toward possibilities, toward the things they can influence instead of the things they can't. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about understanding that your brain is designed to find evidence for whatever you focus on. If you focus on fear, you'll find reasons to panic. If you focus on solutions, you'll find steps to move forward. That's why controlling your focus is the foundation for staying calm under pressure. It gives you clarity in the middle of the storm. It helps you filter out the noise, the distractions, and the emotional triggers that derail most people. It allows you to stay locked in on what actually matters. The truth is, chaos will always test your focus. Your phone will blow up with bad news. People will panic around you. Your plans will fall apart. But your ability to redirect your attention in those moments is what separates you from everyone else. The calmest person in the room isn't the one with no problem. It's the one who refuses to let their focus be hijacked by negativity or fear. You build that skill by practicing it daily. You start small. When you get irritated in traffic, when plans change unexpectedly, when someone says something that triggers you, you notice your attention drifting toward frustration or stress, and you consciously shift it back to what you can control, to the next action, to the bigger picture. Mental resilience is built daily, not during the crisis, because when the storm hits, it's too late to start preparing. The truth is, resilience isn't something you magically tap into when life gets hard. It's something you condition brick by brick through the small decisions you make every single day. Most people only think about mental toughness when they're already overwhelmed, already stressed, already on the edge. But the ones who perform under pressure, the ones who stay calm when everything's falling apart, they've been building that strength long before the challenge showed up. It happens in the quiet moments. It happens when you choose discipline over comfort, when you push through discomfort instead of backing down, when you stick to your commitments even when motivation disappears. Every time you do the hard thing when no one's watching, you're reinforcing your mental foundation. That foundation is what holds you steady when life tests you. You can't expect to stay composed in chaos if your mind has never been tested in the small daily battles. That's why mental resilience isn't a one-time achievement. It's a habit, it's a lifestyle. It's built through repetition, through embracing the uncomfortable situations most people avoid. When you wake up early instead of hitting snooze, you're building it. When you stay calm during a tough conversation instead of reacting emotionally, you're building it. When you choose action over excuses, even when it's inconvenient, you're building it. The beauty of resilience is that it compounds. The more you train it, the more naturally it shows up when you need it. You start becoming the person who doesn't flinch under pressure, who doesn't get rattled by unexpected setbacks, who faces uncertainty with confidence instead of fear. But that version of you only exists if you've done the daily work. You can't fake mental resilience. You either have it because you've earned it, or you crumble under pressure because you've neglected it. The small choices you make when no one's watching determine how strong you'll be when everyone is watching. That's how resilience is built, not through motivation, but through discipline and consistency. Calm is not weakness, it's strategic power. Because when you stay calm in high pressure situations, you gain access to clarity, control, and better decision making that most people lose the moment they get emotional. There's this misconception that being calm means being passive, being soft, being indifferent. But in reality, staying calm is one of the hardest disciplines to master because it requires you to override your natural reactions. It demands that you rise above the noise, the fear, the frustration, and operate from a place of strength, not impulse. In business, in relationships, in life, the calmest person in the room usually holds the most influence. They aren't wasting energy on panic, anger, or overthinking. They're observing, processing, calculating, while everyone else is caught up in the emotion of the moment. The calm person is seeing the bigger picture. They're identifying opportunities hidden in the chaos. They're spotting risks others miss. That's power. Calm gives you the ability to slow the situation down mentally, even when everything feels like it's moving at 1,000 miles an hour. It allows you to stay composed when people doubt you, criticize you, or try to provoke you. Instead of reacting emotionally and handing them your power, you stay grounded, steady, and in control. That calmness becomes your advantage. It builds trust, it commands respect. People follow leaders who keep their head in the fire, not the ones who crumble under pressure. Calm also protects your energy. When you stay emotionally regulated, you avoid the burnout, the mental fatigue, the constant cycle of frustration that drains most people. You conserve your energy for what matters: execution, progress, growth. But calm doesn't show up by accident. You don't just decide to be calm in the middle of chaos if you never practiced it when things were stable. It's a skill, a muscle, developed through intentional self-awareness, through learning to pause before you react, through training your mind to slow down your breathing, your thoughts, your emotions. That's where real strength comes from, not in being louder, faster, or more aggressive, but in mastering the ability to stay calm and calculated when it counts.